Hi there, my name is Jen. Welcome to Pilates in a Flash. This is your 30-minute Pilates video series. Today, you're going to need your hand weights or 2 cans from your pantry. I went with coconut milk today and a light pillow, okay? So you're going to need a light pillow and 2 cans. If you don't have hand weights at home, cans will do. If you have hand weights at home, you need 1 pound, 2 pound, or 3 pound hand weights, okay? So make sure they're light, nothing heavier than 3 pounds. Make sure your space is cleared out and it's safe, and always remember to take this workout at your own pace. Okay, if you need to modify or if you need to press pause, please do so. Today we're going to start lying down on the mat. So you're going to move your props out of the way, have them nearby, okay? Coming down to the mat, taking a nice big deep breath in, and out of the mouth, in, let the air out of the mouth. You're going to grab the pillow, you're going to put it between both hands, shoulders away from the ears and the arm bones down towards the mat. We're just going to lift our arm bones up and then down, okay? So it's just moving our arm bones to start. They're fairly straight, there's just a tiny little bend in the elbows. As I lay here and I move my arm bones, I'm feeling for my shoulder blades moving. So my shoulder blades kind of pull away from the spine a little bit as my arm bones lift towards the ceiling. And then as my arm bones sink down towards the mat, my shoulder blades come in towards my spine. We're going to go for 3. We're going to go for 2. 1. Good. You're going to sink the arm bones down and you're going to do a gentle bend in the elbows. You're going to do a little bit of a squeeze on the pillow. So I'm squeezing the pillow, and yes, I'm using my hands, my forearms, my biceps. But I'm going to think about squeezing the pillow from the underarm area. So I'm squeezing my arm bones towards my body to squeeze the pillow. Gently activating under the arms. So my armpits, my ribs underneath my armpits, okay, and even below there. Shoulders are working, okay, my arms are working, my hands are working just a little bit. So it's not a squeeze where you really have to take the stuffing out of your pillow. It's fairly gentle, okay? From here, you're going to keep a little squeeze on the pillow and the arm bones squeezing towards the body to feel that underarm action. You're going to anchor the ribs down and level the pelvis to get your spine in a neutral position as well as your pelvis. So there's a little curve in the low back. And all we're going to do is just rock our rib cage over to one side a little bit, then back to center. Shoulders down, squeeze the pillow, anchor down the tailbone, rock our rib cage over to the opposite side, and then back to center. So these are quite small thoracic rotations. They're active, right? We're squeezing the pillow. If we pull our belly button in a little extra as we rotate, we should start to feel our obliques working, right? As well as our abdominals as we rotate our rib cage just a little to the right, very small, and a little to the left. I'm not reaching my pillow or my hands across my body. I'm only moving my arms as much as my rib cage rotates, right? So I'm not reaching with my arms to make me feel like I'm rotating further. And anchoring the pelvis down should also enhance the feeling of your obliques working. One more. Good. That's it. We're going to bring the pillow down by our side. I'm just going to focus on my pelvis. So I'm going to move my pelvis really gently. And it's just a pelvic tilt. So it's very small and very gentle. I'm not working through my spine to move my pelvis. I'm thinking about moving my pelvis from my pubic bone or from my tailbone. Okay, and I'm just gently moving it, breathing in. As I move my pelvis, I can feel my spine move, maybe my head nods a little bit. That's great. Okay, I'm going to level my pelvis so my pubic bone and my hips are somewhat level. It's a functional neutral to you. So if this means level flush hurts your back, you need to find a position that works for you and your body. Okay, for me, I have to push my tailbone down towards the ground a little, which activates my lower abdominals to help me stabilize my pelvis. From here, I'm going to breathe in, fill out the rib cage, bring my right leg into tabletop, bring my left leg into tabletop. I'm going to dangle both my feet to back of thighs, then bring them back up. I'm going to envision that there's nice heavy weights on my calves as I lower my toes kind of behind my thighs and then back up into that tabletop position. If I let my ribs pop here, I don't feel much. So I'm going to think about really anchoring my ribs down by pulling my abdominals down, especially my upper abdominals, down towards the mat, and thinking low belly to help me lift my calves back up towards the ceiling. Good. We're going to hold in this position, tabletop position. I'm going to open my right leg a little and then close. Heavy on the left sit bone as I open my right leg just a little bit and then close. Pelvis doesn't move, so we're working pelvic stability right now, okay? Engaging those lower abdominals to pull down towards the mat. Belly button pulls down towards the mat. Shoulders stay away from the ears. I'm going to take that right leg and kick it towards the wall and then bring it back. So extending the right leg away from me, anchoring my spine and my pelvis in that neutral position. There's still a curve in my low back that's off the mat. That's fine. We protect that curve by pulling our belly button down towards the spine a little bit, okay? We're going to go for one more, and then we're going to go left side. Left leg opens a little bit, then comes back to center. You can inhale as you open, exhale as you close. Heavy on the right sit bone, right? And those ribs are pulling down towards the mat. There we go, that's better. So my low ribs are on the mat or reaching for the mat. They might not all be there today, that's fine. We're going to extend the leg out. We're going to bring the leg back. So left leg extends, right leg stays still, and right sit bone stays heavy. I'm going to keep anchoring my tailbone. There, I feel more low belly work when I do that. Good, we're going to go for 3. Pull everything down just a little bit. 2. 1 more, extend. Excellent, put your feet on the ground. Great, from here you're going to push into your feet and lift your pelvis up towards the ceiling. And you're going to slowly articulate your spine to land on the mat with your pelvis landing last. Feet first, pelvis lifts straight up, and then lower your spine, your mid-back, your low back, your pelvis down. One more time. Lift straight up, and then lower it on down. So try to find some movement in our spine. We're going to lift straight up, and we're going to pause, pushing into our feet. I'm going to scoot my feet away just a smidge. And I'm going to find my feet first. So feet really hard into the mat. If I look down, my thigh bones are in line with my hips. They're not wide open in space. They're actually quite narrow. I'm going to squeeze my bum cheeks gently towards each other. So I'm avoiding squeezing under and tucking under right now. I don't want to tuck under. I want to think about the higher cheek coming towards each other, okay? From here, we're going to come halfway down and up, halfway down and up, halfway down and up. So I'm lowering my pelvis, kind of like a plate. There's a little tilt on my pelvis. That's fine. That's comfortable for my low back, okay? Pushing into my feet continually, and then thinking about the tops of shoulders. I'm going to move my arms up, and then I'm going to move my arms down, okay? So we're doing a little pulse, and my arms are coming up. 1, 2. Arms come down. 1, 2. Arms come up. 1, 2. Arms come down. 1, 2. Hold the arms on the mat, and think about staying strong in the back of the arms as we pulse here. But I'm not pushing my chest forward. So my breastbone stays down, but my arms are strong on the mat. So I'm feeling for triceps, back of shoulder, but I'm not squeezing my shoulder blades towards each other. My glutes are on fire. I'm going to pause, heavy through the backs of arms. I'm going to drop my hip down and then lift it back up. I'm going to drop my left hip down and lift it back up. So I'm alternating a small little hip rotation. My thigh bones and my knees don't move too much, okay? We're going to go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold here. I'm going to slide my pelvis a little to the right and then come back to center. Slide my pelvis a little to the left, back to center. My thigh bones and knees are going to move. I'm just sliding my pelvis like it's a plate, just 2 or 3 inches to the right, 2 or 3 inches to the left. Heavy through my feet, right? Okay, heavy through backs of arms. I've already forgotten about those for 3. Good, bum cheeks squeeze towards each other. Pull the low belly down. 1 more each direction. Good, pause here. Squeeze the bum cheeks towards each other. Push into the feet, backs of arms, and lower down. Okie dokie. Legs are going to come back up into tabletop. okay? Holding here, shoulders away from the ears. I'm going to take both toes and I'm going to send them down towards the mat. If the mat is too far, then you just only go halfway. You know it's too far if you start to arc, okay? There's none of this action going on. You want to keep those ribs down, that pelvis stays perfectly still. So back to pelvic stabilization, pull the low belly down. The thigh bones move towards the floor. This hangs and works to stay in neutral. We're going to send our toes towards the floor, but pull our belly buttons down. We're going to keep our ribs on the mat. I'm not going all the way towards the floor. I'm going to arc today. I'm out of alignment today and something is going on, but that's okay. I'm still working, even if I'm going half the distance. I'm going to send both my legs out in front, then back. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. We're going to do 2 more double extensions, low belly on. 1 more. Pull the belly button down. Good. Excellent. Legs stay bent. Arms are going to go into a T. Okay. I'm going to send both legs over to the right just a little bit, then back to center. Both legs over to the left just a little bit, back to center. And the key with this hip sway is to keep the ribs down on the mat. So the ribs don't get to peak, right? The bum cheek does. So if I go right, my left bum cheek peeks up. If I go left, my right bum cheek peeks up. I'm not rolling along my low back. My low back, the curve is still there, and I'm pulling my belly button down to support that curve. As soon as I pull my belly button down a little extra, I feel more. Good. I'm going to try something harder here. Arms are going to go overhead. Shoulders away from the ears. Here we go. We send both legs to the right, but the ribs on the left stay down. Both legs to the left, but the ribs on the right stay down. So you anchor through the opposite rib cage to the direction you're going with both those legs. Good. You're rolling along the back of the pelvis, not the low back. Excellent. Back to center, arms down. Good. Okay, so legs are going to go straight out in front. We're going to need the cans in just a tiny bit. Keep the cans near you, but we don't need them right now. Hands behind the head, shoulders down. Okay, my legs are long. I'm going to do an ab curl, bring my right leg into tabletop, pause. Right now my hips are kind of not very square, so I'm going to think about pushing into my right leg and pushing into my left leg and my left sit bone as that right leg comes up. I'm going to hold here and I'm going to extend the leg out, lower it down, lift it up, bend it in, okay? Extend the leg, lower it down, lift it up, and bend it in. We're going to push through the left leg as the right leg moves, and we're going to keep that ab curl on, so eyes low, belly button pulling in and pushing that breastbone back behind you. So bend the knee, straighten the knee, lower the leg, lift the leg, bend the knee. Okay, straighten the knee, lower the leg, lift the leg, bend the knee. Let's do the opposite side. Uncurl, push into the right leg, ab curl, left leg floats up, hips stay nice and level, anchor through the pubic bone, pull the belly button in and curl from the top. Hold that ab curl as you straighten the leg, lower it down, lift it up, bend the knee. Heavy on the right leg. Okay, straighten the leg, lower it down, lift it up, bend the knee. Whoo, keep curling. Eyes stay low. Eyes on breastbone, belly button, or pubic bone, right? Lower it down, lift it up, shoulders away from the ears. Straighten the leg, lower it down, lift it up, bend the knee, uncurl. Good. Excellent. So from here, I'm going to put a small little bend in my knees and my feet are on the mat. I'm going to do this ab curl, but I'm not going to tuck my tailbone under. My tailbone is anchored. So I still have a little curve in my low back and my low ribs are my anchor point as well. So anchor the tailbone, anchor the low ribs, do that ab curl. And I'm going to pick up my right leg and my left leg, extend them. Now I'm going to pause. Lower the left, bring it back up. Lower the right, bring it back up. We're going to do this tiny little scissor. You can go as low to the ground as you want to, as long as the pelvis doesn't move, and you can hang on to the ab curl. pulling the belly button down. One more each side. Left goes down. I started left, then right goes down. Lift it up, bend the knees, uncurl. Woo. Okay. From there, we're going to come over onto our right side. Have the weight or the can. You can double up the mat if you need to, if your elbow needs more support, okay? I'm gonna bend my knees, I'm gonna drop my shoulder away from my ear, and I'm gonna make sure my elbow is underneath my shoulder here. I'm gonna arc my ribs up and then down, okay? So breathing in, filling up the rib cage, shoulders away from the ears. You're just moving the rib cage up towards the ceiling so that the ribs can actually move and you feel a little stretch underneath the armpit, okay? We're gonna go for 3. We're gonna go for 2. 1 more, arm reaches up. Excellent, okay? So it's just movement here. All I'm trying to do is just do some lateral flexion, so some side bending, and moving the rib cage up and over helps with that side bending. Okay, top leg goes long, bottom leg is bent, shoulders away from the ears. You find the bottom leg as your base of support. If your shoulder is sensitive and this is all you can do and you have to keep your hip on the ground, that's fine. Don't push into your rotator cuff or your shoulder joint if it feels achy and wrong, okay? You know the feeling. If it's there, we stop. But if you want, you can just start by pushing down into that bottom leg, pulling the belly button in, and then letting go. This bottom leg is key for activating the oblique, okay, as well as the glutes and the thighs to help you lift yourself up and take a lot of the pressure out of that shoulder joint. So bottom leg first, okay, pull the belly button in, lift the hips up, pause, okay, I'm going to grab the weight, I'm going to lift the weight up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to squeeze my armpit as I lower the weight down. I'm going to lift my weight up and then squeeze my arm bone towards my torso. 2 more, pull the belly button in. 1 more, keep pushing into that bottom leg. We're gonna stay up here if you can. I'm gonna rotate my hand. I'm gonna send the arm back behind me just a little bit and then forward. Squeezing the arm really straight and thinking about swiping past my body. I'm not squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. I'm just keeping the shoulder blades distanced, okay? So they're not squeezing, but I'm thinking about squeezing the arm bone towards my body. 1 more, arm goes forward and the arm comes back. Lower on down. We're gonna come back up in that position and we're gonna do our thighs. Push into bottom leg, lift on up. Top leg lifts, bottom leg stays bent and heavy into that mat, okay? Both waistlines are somewhat long, okay? We're gonna go for 4, lift that top leg, push into the bottom. We're gonna go for 3, pull the belly button in. 2, good. 1 more, lift, lower, lower it on down. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna come to a nice seated upright position, okay? Your hands are by your side, shoulders away from the ears. Okay, deep breath in and out. And before we do anything, you're just gonna reach your arms up and then down. 1 more time, breathe in, arms come up and then down. Cross your arms across your chest. Move that rib cage just a little to the left and a little to the right. Okay, again, working shoulders, underarms, and arm bones towards the body, which activates our serratus anterior, right? And then obliques and hopefully lats. So we're trying to actually activate a very large muscle, series of muscles, okay? To help support, again, our arm bones in our shoulders, okay? So shoulders away from the ears, hands underneath the shoulders, feet out in front. All I want you to do is scoot your feet closer to your bum, push into your feet and push into your hands and lift your bum up off the mat and then lower it on down, okay? Shoulders away from the ears, squeeze the arm bones in towards the torso, push into feet, push into hands, lift the bum a little off the mat, right? We're kind of swinging forward a bit. That's fine, no problem, okay? From here, we're gonna do 2 more. Shoulders away from ears, arm bones squeeze in. I don't push my chest forward. I breathe in and I actually think about filling out my ribs at the back, push into feet, push into hands, lift the bum up, and then lower on down. One more time, push into hands, push into feet, arm bones squeeze in towards the torso, lift the bum up, pause. Walk the feet a little bit away, pause, and I want you to hold here, squeezing arm bones in. Don't push your chest forward. I want you to rotate the knees a little to the left and a little to the right. So thigh bones are moving, okay? Obliques are working. Pull the belly button in. We're gonna go for 3, 3. We're gonna go for 2, 2. Bum is still lifted. One more, each side, bum down. Excellent. Shake out the hands. It can be hard on the wrists, okay? Rock those shoulders out. We're gonna come on to our opposite side. So left forearm down, have the weight nearby. Double up the mat, bend the knees. Coming onto this forearm now, arm arcs up and over, shoulders away from the ears. Breathe in as the ribs arc up towards the ceiling and down. One more. Lift the ribs and lower them down. Straighten the leg out, push into the bottom leg and lift the hips up towards the ceiling, but don't arc the pelvis forward. Lower on down. Push into the bottom leg, pull the belly button and lift up, but don't push the pelvis forward, okay? We're trying to maintain that little curve in our low back, bum cheeks towards each other. Pause, let's go. Grab the weight, lift the arm up, shoulder away from the ear on both arms. As that arm bone comes down towards the hip, you think about squeezing a lemon in your armpit to make sure that you're activating underneath the arm, okay? Keep it going. Push into the bottom leg, squeeze the bum cheeks towards each other. We're gonna pause, we're gonna flip our grip, palm goes behind us, swipe the arm back a little and forward. Squeeze the tricep to move the arm back and forward. 2 more, back, forward, 1 more, back, forward, and lower on down. Okay, we're gonna do that top leg lift, shoulders down. Lift on up, both waistlines are long, hips are stacked, bum cheeks squeeze together, lift the top leg up and lower it on down. Lift the top leg up and lower it on down, lift it up, push into the bottom leg, pull that belly button in, 1 more, lift it up, lower it on down, excellent. Coming onto our hands and knees, okay, just cat-cow, breathe in, round, and hang out in this rounded position just for a second, okay? So drop the head, tuck the tailbone, pull the spine and the ribs up towards the ceiling, and then let it go. Eyes come up, tailbone goes back behind you. Round, tuck under, let it go. Good. We're gonna pause here. We're gonna lift our breastbone up away from the floor. We're gonna dig our toes in, and we're gonna lift our knees and hover them up and down. One of my favorite moves because it's small, but it is not easy. We don't tuck our tailbone under. We keep a little curve in our low back. We hover our knees 1 inch, but we don't let the breastbone drop towards the floor. We're feeling for our shoulder blades wrapping around our rib cage, okay? Thinking for that shoulder to be supported by our spine and our ribs, as well as the muscles underneath those arms, back to that area of the body. The armpits and below help stabilize that shoulder blade. Pull the belly button up. We're gonna do 1 more, lift, hold, okay? We're gonna walk our feet here. We're gonna lift our right foot, we're gonna lift our left foot. We're gonna lift our right foot and our left foot. For 3, for 2, for 1, lower the knees down, push back into child's pose, breathe in, and out. Excellent. Okay guys, we're gonna bring our legs forward here, sitting high up on that sit bone. We don't need the pillow. We're gonna grab the weights, okay? Flex the feet, pull the low belly in, sit up nice and tall. We're gonna hinge back with a nice flat back, okay? So our arms are on the with the weights, shoulders away from the ears. We're gonna pull our belly button in and hinge back. And I'm gonna make sure I'm not pushing forward again, right? I'm thinking about my upper back and I'm actually thinking about breathing right in the middle of my upper back so that I'm puffing out my rib cage backwards, okay? so that my chest isn't forward. Yep, we're still holding back here. I can stop talking and start doing. We're gonna open our arms a little bit and then close. We're gonna open and close. Good, we're gonna do 2 more. Open, close. Continually pull in the low belly and the belly button and continually flex the feet, okay? 1 more, open, close, okay? We're gonna open the right arm and then move our rib cage towards that open arm. We're gonna close our rib cage and close the right arm. Open the right arm, move the rib cage towards that arm, close. Good, for 2 more, pull in that belly button, rotate, shoulders stay down away from the ears. 1 more, okay? If you need a break, you can take it. I'm gonna sit up, shrug those shoulders. Arms come back up, shoulders down, bend the elbows, pull the belly button in, lean back with a flat back, but that doesn't mean you lose the curves in your back. Little curve in the low back, supported by the belly button. Breathe in. Open up the opposite arm, rotate the breastbone towards that arm and close. Open up the arm, shoulders stay down. Okay, rotate the breastbone towards that arm. It's the breastbone that's twisting that works our obliques. Our hips and our knees don't move. Our thigh bones stay really still. 1 more. Open, close. Good, excellent. Okay. Weights down. We're going for a big move right at the end here. We've done this before, but we're adding a leg lift. Mine might be a little on the shaky side, judging by today, but we're going to see what it looks like. Here we go. So our hands, this is a little tricky for our wrists, okay? So do less reps, take a break, shake out your hands when you need to. We've already done the prep for it. So our shoulders away from the ears, our arms are warmed up, our armpits are warmed up. We need our armpits and underneath the armpits to pull the arm bone in towards our body so that we're activating our obliques as well as supporting our shoulder blade on our back, okay? We're not pushing our chest forward, we're not squeezing our shoulder blades together. They are wrapped around our rib cage. Okay, from here, push into hands, push into feet, float the bum up and extend the legs forward. We're going almost right into it. And then you're gonna pause, okay? Shoulders away from the ears, lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling just a little bit so that the toes are closer to the ground. Hold, squeeze the arms in for 3, for 2, 1. You can lower the bum down, good. And I'm gonna lay down just for 1 second. Breathing in, and out. I'm gonna take my arms and I'm gonna gently circle them. We're not done. I'm just taking a tiny little break so I don't overdo it in my upper traps or in my shoulders, okay? Breathe in. Excellent. Arms come back up towards the ceiling, straighten the legs, nod the chin, pull the belly button in towards the spine, curl slowly and articulate your spine to come back up, okay? We're gonna do it again. This time we add a leg lift, but just on the right side. So we're not gonna alternate, it's a leg lift with the right leg, if you can. If you can't, that's fine. If you're done, good for you. You did a good job. Okay, shoulders away from the ears, hands underneath the shoulders. Breathe in and puff out the ribs, squeeze the arm bones towards the body. Straighten the arms, okay? And try not to let the shoulders crouch up towards the ears. The shoulders stay down. Okay. Push into the ground, push into the feet, start to float the bum, legs walk out in front of you, okay? Pushing into the feet to lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Woo, push into that left leg to lift the right. Woo, push into the left leg, but don't drop the pelvis to lift the right. 1 more time, left leg to lift the right. Good, and then lower on down. I'm going back again. Taking my time, clapping my hands together, rocking through my rib cage. This is a super duper duper hard move, but it feels good, okay? 1 more round. We do the left leg, and then we're done. So, roll up, nod the chin, pull the belly button in towards the spine. Feel your abdominals working to bring you up in that seated position. Okay, here we go. Last round. I'm almost regretting this one. Okay, shoulders away from the ears. Make sure your wrists are okay with this. If they're not, give them actually a nice big shake. And shaking the arm bone along with the wrists can definitely help, okay? Loosen things off, relax them, and stimulate the muscle in the upper arm to help you out. Shoulders away from the ears, hands underneath those shoulders. Squeeze the arm bones towards the body. Pull the belly button in. Puff out the rib cage, and then walk those feet forward, okay? Lifting the pelvis by pushing into the heels and the feet and maybe the toes if they can reach. Pause, push into the right leg, lift the left leg up, squeeze the arm bones towards the body. Whoo, don't drop the pelvis, push into right leg, lift the left leg up. One more time, squeeze the arm bones in, pull the belly button in, lift the left leg up, lower on down. You are done. Oh my God. Legs go nice and wide. Okay, just do a small and gentle windshield wipering of the thigh bones. Okay, while you do this, you can do your arms as well. Okay, circling the arm bones gently. Keep a bend in the arms and the elbows, I mean. Okay, arms come out to the side, look left with your head and neck, look right, look left, look right. I'm going to roll over onto my left side, and I'm going to thank you for joining me. I hope you felt everything today, including your abs, hips, and thighs, and I will see you again next week. Bye!